Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rugged Talks. I'm Gwen.
Hi, I'm Vijay.
Yeah. So, recent incidents have actually shattered our illusions that our school is a safe space for our children and adolescents. And what we're seeing right now is that it's not a series. It's not a series of isolated cases. It's actually a continuum of violence. These stories have actually forced us to face the uncomfortable truth that, our environment that is supposed to nurture and protect our young have failed them miserably. So today we are going to be unpacking a bit of these and actually what lies beneath this growing crisis and what we can do to make our schools safe again.
Yes, I agree to that. I agree to that notion in which there's a recent rise in violent cases, especially in schools.
Yes.
And recently we were shocked by the case that a 14-year-old boy stabbed a 16-year-old girl to death back in Bandar Utama, right? So it certainly is a topic, or rather an issue that we really need to zoom in, and it is. I mean, it's human nature, right? When we face an issue, and we will always pinpoint at someone, or
Correct.
rather a party that they are responsible for it. But
Correct.
it is actually more than that. In this scenario, I believe that it is a collective responsibility of everyone, or rather the ecosystem that the children is living in,
Yeah.
right? So what are your views on the recent rise of cases? And,
Okay, so-
perhaps maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on its causes?
Yeah, so I think, right, to think about it, this series of cases is scary. It feels like they're no longer isolated anomalies. They are actually indicators of a, like criminological trend, which feels quite bad
yeah.
because this age in school, they're supposed to, actually help with their character or empathy development. So this is very worrying.
And they're supposed to be learning as well.
Correct. It's supposed to be a space for them to explore and grow from there. So it feels scary. So I think when you asked me earlier about whose fault is it, I would say that at this rate you will see people trying to put the blame, as you said, on someone or something, because oftentimes it's what helps us cope. Seriously. But I think that you will see a lot of people saying the parents, or they would blame the teachers or the school that should actually see this coming. But I think, it's the system and the world that the kids are growing up in these days, really. Because it's like they live online primarily, and they are just so digitally connected, but emotionally disconnected. And sometimes I feel like they leave most of their teenage world, like teenage times, over the digital world. Like it's too much. It's getting a bit too much, I guess.
I'm just going to share a little bit on data.
Yep.
All right. Interestingly, kids between the age of 3 years old until 17 years old, they spend about 3 to 4 hours per day looking at their phones. So
Doom scrolling.
yes,
I would
doom
say.
scrolling. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't remember that I scrolled my phone when I was in a younger
Did
age.
you already have a phone?
No, not really. I
remember I have my first phone when I got first in class.
Right.
Back in standard 4.
Not a smartphone, right?
No,
It's
it
more
was
like
just
those
like
brick
those
phone you
typical,
see, the
yeah,
Nokia
and I was
phone.
so proud of it that time. Yeah, so it's creepy, like
I mean, we can also see kids when they were having a meal with their parents,
yeah,
and there were no communication between them, and
yeah.
each and every one of them were busy looking at their gadgets.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, we can even see kids or babies in their stroller and they were looking at tablets.
Oh.
Yeah, that's bad, right?
Yeah, that's bad. I think this is the modern day trend, like parents, after work they feel tired, and I mean this is understandable that maybe they don't have the time and capacity, but I think with this situation we can't just blame the schools. I think it's everyone's responsibilities, like even the students, the parents, and like as students, if you actually witness this kind of situation of school violence or whatnot, if you are experiencing that, I think you need to learn to speak up, because silence will only grow the harm, which is bad. And for parents, I think constantly checking in with your kids and to speak to them. I mean, they only have that little time after school. Maybe some even go for like after school
care.
care.
Yes, that's right.
So there's only like that much time between the parents and the kids. So it's good to constantly check in, talk to them, and just to let them know that you are there. And I think I'm very fortunate because my schooling days weren't like that. I think our schooling days were pretty peaceful, and I think we were
mostly focusing on exams.
Yes, it's
and also our extracurricular activities.
Yeah, true.
Right.
I think that's part of our schooling days, but it seems a bit different these days. I guess it's a trend.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a trend where you see both parents, they are working.
Yeah,
And
but we can't blame them. I mean,
Yeah,
they
we
have
can't
to
blame them,
work.
yeah. That's right.
We can't blame them. So
I mean, there are also parents that feel that by providing basic necessities, or even I give you some pocket money, for example, that's
care.
That's care, and it's an assurance that they have fulfilled their responsibility in taking care of their children. Where in reality, I mean, children, they are craving for attention and they want to be heard as well. And the failure of parents in doing so results in them resorting to the digital world where they absorb the contents, they express
I think that's
themselves
where
over
they
there.
learned emotions as well, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Which can be quite unhealthy, because not everything can be learned. Not every experience can come through the digital world, right? And they have to be out there to experience it for themselves. That's a part of the growing journey, in life. And yeah, as we can see, there's like so many like hoo-has going on. And of course, our communication minister, YBM Fahmi, actually mentioned that they are trying to come up with some measures to safeguard this. I think he mentioned something about 13-year-olds. If you want to have social media accounts, you have to I don't know, like validate your identification or something.
Is it eKYC, right?
Yes, correct. And yeah, I don't know. It's pretty interesting that Malaysia is actually thinking about putting that in place to curb the current surge in school violence cases. And I don't know, what else are we looking at?
The introductions of a control, or rather a more controlled measure on our social media platform, especially for kids, is certainly not something new. And there are other countries that take different measures. For example, I come across an article from the Star that showed that recently Australia banned 16 years old and under from using social media. That's a little bit of an extreme, but of course, different countries have different challenges.
Correct,
right?
correct.
And China, they limit the screen time for those who are 18 and below.
18?
Yeah, 18.
Oh wow, that is Okay, that's a pretty high benchmark.
Yeah. Hey, interestingly, Greece and Denmark,
Mm-hmm.
they banned the usage of social media for those who are 16 and below.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
Okay.
it tells a lot that
It tells a lot, yes.
that all these developed countries, they
So we are
come to a
looking at
realization that social media indeed is, giving a negative impact on kids.
I mean, we cannot deny the fact that right now we are living in the world where, in this kind of era, that we are looking towards being innovative, AI and everything, right? So it's undeniable because we need that aspect as well, in terms of helping our country grow, or even helping our people grow. But we really need to weigh in whether or not it's more pros than cons, or more cons than
Yes,
pros.
I agree.
Yeah.
Of course, like what you shared just now, as to the measure taken by MCMC,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good start.
Yeah, of course.
And
Any start is good at this rate.
yeah, that's right. And we just got to observe as to its effect,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah. And I don't know, what do you think about safeguarding measures in schools? Because I think schools is actually the place where they spend majority of their time.
Yeah,
Correct,
that's right.
for children and stuff. So that's where they actually spend their time, and a lot is going on there. So I think the safeguarding measures should come from the school as well, right? I mean, of course, as we said, it's a shared responsibility between the school, parents, and even the students themselves. But I would say that safeguarding measures in school should really take place, right?
Do you think our safeguarding measures in school, they are adequate?
I think we can do better. We can do better, definitely, considering how there is this string of violence incidents, and this is a time where we can have a check and balance. To actually look at how lacking we are, and we can do better from there. And I don't know, the safeguarding measures that we are talking about. Maybe it's like having multidisciplinary team actually working on assessing risks at school. Maybe
Yeah. Assessing what kind of risk?
risks, like, I don't know, like, okay, in terms of maybe the kids' mental health as well. It could
Okay.
be one. It could be a way to go from there, because I understand that a lot of schools don't really have like too many counselors, because they are resources wise and stuff, right?
Yes, that's right. I've come across a pretty interesting statistics.
Yeah, please
Especially
share.
when you mention counseling, right? So,
Yep.
in Malaysia, we are currently averaging one counselor for every 1,500 students,
Okay.
in which the international benchmark is one counselor for 250 students. So you can see that there's a lack of counselors in school.
And what do you think that we should do about it?
It's
It's a tough question.
a tough question, yeah, that's for sure.
Like what you
And,
asked me just now.
I mean,
It's a tough question.
when we look at the ratio, yes, it is pretty bad. But we need to assess it in a deeper level. Will the increase in the number of counselors in school really prevent the number of cases, the number of violent cases happening in school? Will it really happen then?
I think when you talk about there again, like what we said earlier, there's no right or wrong in this. Because truly this is more of a social problem which every country eventually faces. So if you were to say, okay, if we were to have some kind of like safeguarding measures in terms of counselors, what do you think that the counselors should be doing? Are they I don't know, like, are they gonna be assessing the students' mental health, or I don't know really, like what we are having, we're facing this. It's a bit vague at this rate.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit vague, and there's also a need to really determine as to the credibility of the counselors as well, right? Whether
Yeah.
they are uh, equipped
Mm-hmm.
with the skills,
Mm-hmm.
or even some how do you call it, certification in or trainings,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So yeah, I mean that's a question mark that I believe everyone is asking right now.
Correct. Yeah, so I think that school cultures is actually shaped by what we choose to tolerate and what we choose to act on. And I think that a lot of students right now who may have experienced or who have seen something happen, maybe I think to think about it, if you are in their spot, we are also probably going to be in a very tight spot. But again, we are urging these students, if you actually encounter this kind of experience, just speak up.
Yeah.
Because again, if we do not address this issue, if we do not speak up, voice up, then it's gonna overpower them at the end of the day.
I think a lot of students, or rather, our youths, they choose not to speak up. Right? It's a social stigma in which if someone is facing some emotional problem,
I
maybe.
think coping mechanism is very important.
Yeah. I mean, those that are around them may label them as weak or attention seekers.
Yeah, I think they learn through, I mean, of course, children actually learn through what they see. So if they see that aggression is actually rewarded, but if you actually let things get unchecked, then it quickly becomes normalized. So this, what we're doing right now is we're trying to normalize that it's okay to do that. It's okay to speak up. It's okay to voice up for yourself, to defend yourself, right? Is that the direction that we're trying to get to?
Yeah, I believe that's the direction that we need to get into.
Yes.
If not now,
Yeah, because
if
we
not
don't
now,
we,
when,
we don't
right?
want any more saddening cases, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when we look back at the recent case in Bandar Utama,
Yeah.
and if you analyze the notes written by the perpetrator, it is a little bit of like he was trying to take out his emotional struggle towards that around him. He labeled those around him as NPC, or in gaming terms, it is.
I don't game.
In gaming terms, it means non-playable characters,
Okay.
which he need to destroy so that he can achieve a new beginning or a new era for himself.
I think, actually, truthfully, I'm pretty speechless because it's I don't know, like it's how we supposed to. I think none of us have imagined this.
Yeah, it is
happening.
tragic.
Yeah.
It is tragic, and it's a reflection of what's really going on.
Yeah, it's a mirror
in
of our
right?
society, really. Because children see and they learn. They look at what's going on around them and they learn. So we are a mirror to them as well, which is why I think that if we actually tell them, or if we educate them in the right way by saying that you should have a coping mechanism of your own. Like, okay, for adults, maybe, when we are stressed out with work or whatnot, you have a coping mechanism. Some people go for wellness. Some people indulge in stuff that they like. in a way, as it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what's yours, but everyone eventually
Hiking.
hiking. Oh, that's good. I think everyone eventually should have a coping mechanism, because oftentimes whatever's built up inside eventually is going to come out one day.
Yes, you're
It's
right.
it's we are humans. We are only humans. So I think expressions and emotions, it happens. So we have to teach them, what is the right coping mechanism that they should have. And it's not a sign of weakness. Having a coping mechanism is the complete opposite of weakness. I think we should be able to put forth that to our youth these days.
That's
Yeah.
right. And based on my observations, I believe that of school children, right, there's a lack of relationship, or rather a connection between them,
Each other.
between each other and also the teachers. I mean, this might be one of the reason why our school children did not voice out as to the problems
Do
that
you
they are
think
facing.
maybe if there is some kind of mentorship program
I
in
believe
school, do you
there
think it will
is
help?
mentorship programs,
There
but
is?
maybe it is not that effective. I'm not sure. And I believe the whole school system, the whole school support system, especially for the students, need to be assessed and
Reframed.
Yeah, reframed, or just start something fresh. You see.
Yeah. It's truthfully okay, like what you mentioned earlier, maybe mentorship programs. I mean, we don't know whether or not there are enough of them or whatnot.
And we also need to somehow create a bond between students and the teachers as well, in which students are willing to share their thoughts, to express themselves.
Yeah, I think that's how we should do it. That's how we should. I mean, we should be able to talk about things. Yeah, like talk about your feelings and whatnot. But again, that is a stigma that is not normalized enough, right? So, yeah. Is there anything else you would like to touch bases on?
I believe we have covered what is needed, I guess.
Okay.
Unless you have something else.
I don't really have anything else, but before I end, I would just like to put forth that, if Malaysia truly wishes to end this cycle, like break this cycle, we must eventually begin by not only asking how our schools became unsafe, because it's no longer the question anymore, but we should see how our collective indifferences. So before we actually end today's episode, I would just like to say that if Malaysia truly wishes to end this cycle, like break this cycle, we must begin by asking not only how our schools became unsafe or why, but actually look at how our collective indifferences allowed them to. Because school violence, they're not born in the classroom. It's literally brought into it. And addressing it must be a collective effort, regardless of the role we play today, whether or not you're a parent or you're a teacher or simply you're a member of the society or a policymaker. I think we should all stop and actually look within us, because we owe these youths change. And only when we look within us, we can do that. Only when we confront those social and moral fractures, then we can actually reclaim our schools as being safe, as a place of trust and care, and only then we can break the dynamics and actually break the cycle together, right?
Yeah. This is, of course, a collective responsibility, and we need to always remind ourselves that youths are the next generation that will lead our country.
Yeah.
And do we want to see that our country is divided because our youths are facing their own problems, own social problems. So yeah, it's a collective responsibility.
Yeah, and I believe together we can do this. We can face this together. We can change the dynamics. We can break the cycle.
Let's play a
together.
part then.
Yes, we have a responsibility as well. You know, when we see a youth, you know, someday, whatnot, how and what we do is a mirror to them. So let's keep that in mind. And with that said, we are gonna wrap up today's episode. And
that's a wrap.
Yep, it's a wrap. And thank you for tuning in with us.
Hey, as usual, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.